MPCW Gaming and MPCW Productions and MPCW all across Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch right now. So I know the Twitch side of things don't get the Madden broadcast because usually it's on YouTube and everything. So I'm still working on it, but just want to let you guys know this is week 13 of the MPCW franchise, which any of our subscribers can join at any time throughout the season. We are in week 13 right now, so if you want to join, I would probably join a playoff a playoff team, that's for sure, and we are going to be talking about that very, very shortly. Let's just say this season has been filled with tons of emotion. Every game.
Yes.
Let's talk about, and I know I got to bring this up because I love you and you're amazing. But what about that game where it was almost 0-0 the entire game? And
Oh, against the Jaguars where I
yeah,
lost by
what
one.
happened? Yeah, what happened on that one? If you could break it down real quick.
So very good. It was a very defensive game from both teams. Clearly, like you said, in fourth quarter, going into the fourth quarter, tied 0-0.
Yeah.
Um, and then in the fourth quarter, it was back and forth. And then I ended up scoring. And then they ended up scoring on a unbelievable 0.0000001% chance of ever happening, especially being CPU.
Mm-hmm.
Hail Mary for a touchdown to tie the
Holy
game.
crap.
So we're sitting at 7-6 right now.
Yeah.
Then they go for a 2-point and convert the 2-point conversion with no
Hold up.
time left on the
So
clock.
CPU decided to go for a 2-point instead of a 1-point?
Yeah.
That's gutsy.
So here I
That seems
am.
like a human took over.
Right. So here I am thinking we're going to go into overtime and I'm going to win this game in overtime. And nope. It
And that
didn't
left
happen.
no clock, no time on the clock, huh?
Zeros. Literally game walk off win.
Damn. I've had a few tough games lately. I have had a few. Let's talk let's talk about me being down by halftime 21-0. And somehow I walked out victorious. What was it, 35-28? Yeah. Yeah.
Comeback of the year.
I was an emotional wreck going into halftime. I'm like, how am I in second seed and losing like this? I know what I need to change up next year, and that's my defense.
Mm-hmm.
My defense needs to get changed up. And I found out that, oh man, this is very tough for me, and I realized what's been going on with my offensive line. My overall 90 right guard is injured.
Oh,
He's out for 4 weeks.
wow.
There's no trade. I can't do no trades.
Damn.
I looked in the free agent pool. They all suck. I'm like, well, here I am. So I got to figure out how I can get Patrick to be a little more mobile with his throws and a little more. I've been kind of staying inside the pocket a little bit with Patrick, and
Mm-hmm.
now I think I need to avoid that on why I've been getting sacked lately, why he's been kind of being rushed. AI's caught on to that, so I got to figure out how I'm gonna be able to maneuver that.
Right.
Another close game I want to talk about. You guys probably saw it on another channel, True Patriot on Twitch. Um, it was definitely a very close game. It was a player versus player. The Huskies, which is the newfound owner with Noah. Noah has taken over the Eagles 8-0. Right now he's 9-3. But we're not going to talk about that. I think he's just trying to get used to the team. New ownership, new area, so it's going to take a little bit to get used to. Um, but my friend, he almost got Wizards, and they are on an 11 game winning streak, bro.
Yeah, they started out 0-3, and then something just snapped, and they haven't lost since.
Yeah, 11 game winning streak by the Wizards, and it's going to be pretty interesting going forward. But let's go ahead and talk about the playoffs here. Why don't you let me know what's going on with the wild card on the AFC side?
So the wild card for the AFC is so far, as of right now, is the Dragons, the Texans, the Jaguars, the Colts, the Dolphins, and the Steelers. And then holding the one seed with the bye is none other than the Wizards.
The Wizards, they have been destroyed since losing to the Dragons. Since losing to the Dragons, they have been kicking people's asses left and right. You
Oh,
know,
absolutely.
so that right there is going to be an interesting factor. Now, the wild card on the NFC side of the playing field is the Black Knights, Panthers, Falcons, Commanders, Cardinals, and the Cowboys. And holding the number one seed spot is the Huskies, and the Huskies have a very tough decision as to they got to hold it. There's still so much more football. They got to hold it. You know,
Absolutely.
they have to hold that number one seed or they're going to drift down. And
Well,
they got to get some W's in that win column. That is for sure. All right, why don't we talk about the team records? If you want to actually do a rundown on the whole AFC, that would be great.
alrighty. So in the AFC East, we got the Dolphins at 7-5, the Bills at 6-6, the Patriots at 6-7, and the Jets at 4-8.
Oh, that really doesn't shock me with the Jets. As a Jet fan, that's actually a very reasonable record. I'm very shocked the Dolphins are up there, but the Bills and the Patriots, they're not that far behind from the Dolphins.
No, not at all. And then in the AFC West, we have the Dragons at 9-3. You got the Raiders at 5-6. Or sorry, misread that. The Chargers at 6-6. Then the Raiders at 5-6. And then the Broncos, which does not, like you said with the Jets, I'm gonna say it with the Broncos. It does not surprise me
Nope.
that they're sitting at 4-9. The
Yeah.
AFC South, the Jaguars.
Oof.
Oh, that name just leaves a sour taste in my
Yeah,
mouth.
and they're in the playoffs.
They are 7-5. The Texans and Colts are 7-6, and the Titans are 4-8.
Sounds about right. That's Bradley Tucker's record right now with the Titans. I think we actually have a worse record than that right now. But
And then
Titans
the
suck.
and then to wrap things up in the AFC North, you have the Wizards at 11-2, the Steelers at 9 and
Oof.
3, the Bengals at 5-7, which is kind of shocking because they've got a pretty decent squad. I mean, you got Joe Burrows and Jamar Chase.
Mm-hmm. I don't know
They're
what's going. I got to look at their injury situation and see what's going on with the Bengals.
and they are sitting at 5-7, and the Browns, no shocker to anybody, are sitting at 3-9.
Absolutely. Now in the NFC East right now, I'm going to go ahead and do a rundown with the NFC. We have the Eagles at 9-3 right now. They were 8-0 at one point. New ownership, new area. So we definitely got the Huskies right now at 9-3, formerly known as the Eagles. So it's going to take the broadcast to get kind of getting used to that. Um, no, it's almost dinner time. We have the Cowboys sitting at 7-5. Commanders 7-6, and the Giants 5-7. In the NFC West, we have the Cardinals sitting at 6-6, Seahawks and the 49ers and the Rams sitting at 5-7. So that is a really close division, wouldn't you think, Mason?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. All it takes is a couple teams winning and a team losing, and things can flip flop.
Hmm. Let's talk about another very close division here, and that is the Falcons sitting at 7-5, Panthers 6-6, Buccaneers and the Saints are 5-7. Again, a couple games behind, literally. So that is another very close division that could be changing within the next several weeks ahead of us. And let's talk about the NFC North right now with the Black Knights. You're 7-5, right?
Yes.
7-5 right now, but you got the number two. There's not much competition in the NFC, is there? Besides the Huskies,
Yeah.
Huskies, Cowboys, and Commanders maybe, but you're sitting at 7-5 right now. The Bears, the Packers, not that far behind you with 6-6, and I don't think you got to worry about the Vikings sitting at 3-9,
Oh no. I mean,
which is very shocking because even in real life, Vikings were something you didn't want to mess with. They just did the Buffalo thing and choked in the playoffs.
hmm and it's funny. What's funny about this division, NFC North, is I just beat the Bears in overtime, and
Mm-hmm.
before that, I was just sitting at the 6th seed. But when I beat them, that bumped me up to the 3 seed. So who knows?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Still a lot of football left. Again, we're going to talk about some facts here. We got the Wizards on an 11-game winning streak. The Colts are on a 3-game winning streak. The Patriots and the Jets are on a 4-game losing streak. And if I remember, Mason, Patriots were a talked about team at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, they were right up there.
Yeah, I think they were number one spot in the AFC East. And Patriots just been on a 4-game losing streak. Another losing streak is the Broncos are sitting at a 5-game losing streak. Panthers, though, are on a 3-game winning streak, and the Cardinals are on a 4-game winning streak.
Oh shoot.
So a lot of differentness here, but let's go ahead and why don't you run down starting from third place to first place the NFL passing leader in our franchise.
Alrighty. In third is Jalen Hurts from the Huskies, and he has
Hold
three
on.
thousand.
Don't read that whole number. That's I forgot to there. Hold on. There we go. Hold on. Nope. There you go. There you go. Hold on. There you go. You're good now.
Alrighty.
He
He
almost had like
has
300,000 yards or some shit like that. Anyways,
he had 3,260 yards, 30 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, and has a 62% completion percentage.
absolutely.
And then in second, you have CJ Stroud from the Texans with 3,307 yards, 28 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, and a completion percentage of 66. First place, no shocker, 4,000 or Lamar Jackson with the Wizards, 4,606 yards, 52 touchdowns,
Woo!
22 interceptions,
Oof.
and a 71% completion rate.
And speaking of that interception, Lamar Jackson from the Wizards, definitely with the most thrown interceptions so far at 22. Sitting behind him is Gardner Minshew from the Raiders with 21 interceptions. The quarterback that has been most sacked is Jaden Daniels from the Commanders. 33 times sacked, Mason.
Holy crap.
Yeah, crapadoodle. Crapadoodle. But I'm going to go ahead and sit back and talk about the NFL rushing leaders here. In third place, we got Josh Jacobs from the Green Bay Packers, sitting at 995 yards, almost 5 yards short. I guarantee you he's going to get that next game, his 1,000-yard mark, sitting at 8 touchdowns with 82.9 yards a game. Sitting at second, Brees Hall from the Dragons. I told you. I told you from the get go he's going to creep up, ain't he?
Yes, he sure is.
And Brees Hall with 1,103 yards, 20 touchdowns with a 91.9 yards per game. And sitting at first, Jamar Gibbs from the Black Knights with 1,298 yards, 17 touchdowns, and with 108.2 yards per game. Let's go ahead and talk about the rushers with the most fumbles and the longest run. Go ahead.
So the rusher with the most fumbles is Mr. Lamar Jackson with 5.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Poor
And
Lamar.
then for the longest run, we have Khalil Herbert from the Bears, who went 96 yards.
Yeah, the last stat was 95 yards. This motherfucker did it again for 96. Just want to throw that out there. Um, Go on and talk about the NFL receiving leaders.
Alrighty. In third, you have Josh Downs of the Colts. He has 1,093 yards and 12 touchdowns. So not bad, not bad.
Not bad at
1,000
all.
yard season.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then in second, you got Devonta Smith from the
I
Huskies
know. I was shocked there too.
with 1,110 yards and 13 touchdowns. So again, another receiver hitting that 1,000 yard mark. And there's still more football to go. So who knows? He may shoot right up there.
Absolutely.
And then in first, you got Mark Andrews from the Wizards with 1,405 yards and 11 touchdowns.
He's got about 600 more yards to go before hitting 2,000.
That's
That's doable. It is straight up doable.
oh,
And
absolutely.
we're going to talk about the most touchdowns from a receiver right now, sitting at 14 touchdowns from the 49ers, Brandon Ayuk. And yeah, 14 touchdowns. And the 49ers are actually on the low of the totem pole. So they are still utilizing him pretty well. So,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to see kind of what's going on with a lot of these teams here. Um, I may actually sit back and talk with you at some point before the playoffs start and talk about an injury breakdown on a few top names, see if there's any top names out there added to our broadcast.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
let's see. I'm going to go ahead and talk about some interesting facts before we get to the punts and the kick return here. The person with the most tackles this season so far is Willie Gay from the Saints with 100 tackles, triple digits already. That
Damn.
dude is everywhere. Uh, Solo tackles. I was trying to pronounce this name.
Jelani
Jelani
Tavai?
Tavaya, Janai, yeah, from the Patriots with 82 solo tackles. Aiden Hutchinson from the Black Knights with 12 sacks. Most interceptions though is Trey Davius White, which does not shock us. He
No.
has 7 interceptions so far this season.
It's not bad. That's not bad at all.
Most forced fumbles. Brian Branch from the Black Knights with 5 forced fumbles. Why don't you go ahead and finish this off with the top punt returner and the top kick returner?
Alrighty, so the top punt returner goes to Charlie Jones from the Bengals with 125
It is
yards.
so hard to get punt return yards, bro.
Oh, absolutely.
I ain't gonna lie.
And then your top kick returner goes to Xavier Worthy of the Dragons, who is sitting, 772 yards. And then here's another interesting fact to close everything up on. Raheem Mostert of the Dolphins, 100-yard kick return for a touchdown, and currently holds the record for the longest in this franchise.
Absolutely. And the fact that he's the only one so far that actually has a kick return touchdown. Let's not
Yes.
end that. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll probably be back here in a couple weeks to let you guys know what's going on in the season. Go ahead and go to True Patriot, subscribe, watch him into his matches. You can come here on MPCW on YouTube to watch Mason's games, my games. We will be trying to hook up Mr. Porky up and try to get him into streaming those games as well. So if you are a subscriber, you want to participate, this is your moment. This is your time. Even if you're a god in Madden, I don't care. Join the fun, join the pain. This is what MPCW is. Thank y'all for so much. Holla holla and a whoop
Ooh,
whoop,
ooh.
motherfuckers.